What's up, everybody? Hello, it's Alan from Breaking and Entering. Today we are hanging out with Police Create Hippies. Thank you so much for joining us, man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Your name has popped up so many times in the last few years that I was like, I need to talk to you at some point and kind of figure out, what it is you've all been up to, and what you've been doing. So let's take it back though. How did you kind of get your start in getting involved with music and creative things altogether?
Pretty much all of my closest friends and stuff I met going to concerts at the rave back in like high school and like early college. Like one of the first people I ever met was I met Lake Homie actually at a Vince Staples concert when I was like 16, and
Hmm.
I'm 24 now for context. And we just became really good friends just from hanging out in the line in front of the concert. And
Yeah.
we started hanging out. And originally, I would help Lake come up with like music video concepts and stuff like that. And I was like more of a camera guy at the time, even though I wasn't good at it. But I just always knew I like wanted to be around and doing something. So that's how I really started. And then once Lake met like all the UL guys and stuff, then I was hanging around them around the age of like 16, 17 as well.
Hmm.
And um I just a lot of those guys definitely rubbed off on me a lot, like Brema and Gene and Eli and like Ed, all of them for real.
Yeah.
Um, just from being around them from when because I was always like the youngest one in terms of that group of people as well. So
Right.
um yeah, and then I would see Gene because Gene was he's getting back more into it now, but there was a period of time in there when he wasn't DJing as much. But earlier on in those years, I remember he would be DJing a lot of events, and I was always like, "Damn, I want to do that. I want to do that." And I was just trying desperately to figure out how to do it.
Right.
And then it naturally just kind of happened where like I was doing it on my own. I started DJing as a duo actually with my last roommate Ryan. That's like my best friend, and
Okay.
so like one of us would DJ, and then another one of us would be like sequencing drums and percussion loops on top of that. So it was a lot more of a weird experimental thing at the time. But we would DJ under the name Police Create Hippies, and
Okay. So is that where the name kind of came from? Is the as a duo originally?
yes, but also the name comes from. Oh, I hope I can find it. Yes, the name
It's like you
actually.
knew I was going to ask you this.
I actually wasn't counting on it. I just keep this. I'm in my studio room at home right now, so this is where I just keep this. I the cover ripped off, but this is the book "Be Here Now" by Ram
Mhm.
Dass, and I never get to show anybody this, so this is cool. And if we find
Yeah.
here it is right here on page 28. If you look right there,
Oh, that is so cool. That is amazing that the literal like
yeah,
name comes straight out of that. That's
yeah.
tight.
Whenever anybody like really asks, I typically am just like, you can kind of just Google the phrase, and, like this page
Yeah.
up. But yeah, I implore people to look deeper into that book and into that page specifically if you're curious on
Yeah.
my thoughts
Absolutely.
on it, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. So you mentioned DJing. You were behind the camera a little bit. I've seen you've done all sorts of different stuff kind of in and around music. Like, is there one avenue that, really was like, this is gonna be my focal point, or was it just kind of like, let's just try a bunch of things and see which one of them sticks?
Yeah, I think definitely the second one. I've always been kind of just a computer nerd and just into just knowledge in general.
Hmm.
So, and I've always had very big ideas of things that I wanted to do, but I just didn't know how to do them at first. But I don't have money to pay people to like do the things for me all the time. So I just got committed to just learning stuff. And that goes in with like a lot of my visual stuff that I do, or like my projection mappings. Like at the UL warehouse show they did at House of Rad earlier this year. If you remember, they were the like big like square things against
Yeah.
the walls. Yeah, I did those, the projection map,
Okay.
all the animations and stuff in there. Um, and I've just always had cool ideas in my head of things like that, but it's like, how do you make something like that? I barely even really know people that can do things like that. And then I got lucky with when I linked up with Non Pop. That's where I met a lot of like the people that taught me a lot of those different like skill sets. Like
Sure.
yeah, like Moses brought my DJing up tenfold. VJ Bry, he taught me a lot of projection mapping and visual stuff that we would implement at Mad Planet, and he helped me out at the House of Rad 1 2. Um, I started interning at the High Five Studio for a while. Before,
Okay.
yeah, before me and Nobi began trying to branch off into our own thing. So I wanted to record artists more and do more engineering.
For
Uh,
sure.
Simply because I like being a part of that process too, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Is there anything that you don't do as far as, creative wise?
Um, I don't make music videos yet, but I really want to. That's something that I really want to learn how to do, but also that's so many skills in one that I
Hmm.
don't think I could possibly teach myself all of those within a reasonable amount of time. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You're working with a bunch of artists too. You not only like non-pop and DJing that way, but like you just produced a track. I believe Jalen G, right? That
Yeah.
you were working with on that. Um, like are you making beats too on the side? Like how into that are you as far as like you know, how did you
Yeah.
start working with those guys?
Um, in terms of the beats, it kind of comes and goes in terms of my inspiration. I'm also very like self-conscious about a lot of the things that I produce, and I don't feel like, because especially around when I'm around like people like Nobi or that guy Eli or Zoltan or like plenty of these other producers that I'm around that are just incredible. I'm like, yeesh. Maybe I'm not that good, but you know, it's something that I'm getting over and getting past. That track in particular actually is like pretty old. Like if I had to
Okay.
guess, that track's probably from like 2019.
Oh wow. Okay.
Like it's pretty old. It's something that I've been holding on to, but I remembered that it was there one day and it felt like the time was right to drop it. It probably should have been out for a long time, but yeah, no, I'm really proud of that one. Bonus points for anyone who can identify the sample in there.
Offhand, now I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it and check it out. I was like, offhand, I cannot tell you, but I don't know. Okay, so we're at the top of a new year. Exciting times for sure. I think big year for Milwaukee ahead. What is kind of on your goal sheet for like what is your things that you're trying to get into this year? And yeah, what is the goal?
Oh,
Are there
that's
goals?
yeah, that's something I've been thinking about recently. I was having a conversation with somebody the other day about that actually, about having to establish a new set of goals for the year because this last year I ended up most of the pretty much all the goals I set for 2023 I did, which I'm
Hmm.
proud of. Uh,
Nice.
so for 2024, I for sure need to put out more music, original music, and more remixes just in general. Cause I'm like just now getting to a place where like I'm comfortable DJing my actual personal remixes in my sets. So then it's more, just
Yeah.
really
It's
me.
you. It's yeah, more you, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, for sure that. I would like to host another show, like when I did my deep end series at High Dive, it went pretty well.
Okay.
But I would like to do something that was more of like a DJ party. I would like to do something more of like a showcase for artists where I can also do like a really big projection mapping display. Like I want to do something insane. I like want to make like the floor light up and like I want it to be something very different than anything that anybody has seen in the city so far. But it's a lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds like it for sure. But I think, if anybody's gonna do it, you've definitely shown a lot of drive so far. And I hope to see and hear a ton more from you this year. If people want to connect with you, they want to find you, where's the best place to go ahead and do that at?
Uh, Instagram I use the most at Police Create Hippies. I believe on X it's at Police Hippies, but I never use it. So
Okay.
uh, yeah, that's probably the best. The SoundCloud is doing decent these days. Police Create Hippies on SoundCloud. Um, there's some remixes on YouTube that couldn't be put on SoundCloud because of copyright, so there's some more extra stuff over there. That's about it.
Nice. Very cool. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and follow and go check out those remixes because I have not heard those yet, so I need to go check those out for sure. And looking forward to, seeing you DJing out around the city, especially like with the non-pop crew and everything. And thank you for taking the time to sit down and do this.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're just checking us out for the first time, you can find music every single day over at breakingandentering.net. You can also find us on all of our social media as well at Breaking and Entering. Police Create Hippies, thank you once again, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.